Girl is apparently a tranny. So let's have a little watch.
Hey guys, what is up? Today I am going to be doing a video that people might think is I'm trying to be offensive or I'm setting back like a movement or something like that. But I want to talk about this because it's something that I actually have felt for a long time.
Then why are you still a girl then? Lol, this girl makes no sense.
Someone in the comments will know, like, leave in the comments below, like, someone will know I did a video, like, maybe it was right before I started dating Jason.
No one really cares, lol. Just get on with it.
It was like in January of like 2018. Yeah, 2018. I did a video, and I don't know if it's still up, I think it is, where I wanted to be referred to only as T because I didn't feel like I identified as a girl. Now this seems like crazy and weird and shocking because I was born a female, and I'm ultra girly now. I'm very girly, right? Because when I was younger, I was teased a lot because they said I looked like a boy. I had a boy hair.
No wonder, because now you are saying you want to be a boy.
So people would call me like a man. Like there was one nickname and it's not even funny. It's not even weird. It's not even like clever. They'd be like, Trisha the man penis. Like I swear.
Ahah. And you said it wasn't even funny.
That I was like a man, and I didn't get it other than my lip. I know they made fun of my hair lip a lot. Anyways. So to overcompensate for that when I got older, like when I was like 18 and I could start like, you know, like spending money on my hair and like all that stuff like that. And I used to always wear sports bra because my natural breasts were very like, one was uneven, like they were hella uneven, and one was really saggy and one was kind of up. So I always wore like sports bras to like flatten my chest. And I never liked the attention as so after I was like a man, blah, blah, blah. Around middle school is when I started like getting breasts, and I started getting like attention from like older guys, like not even high schoolers, but like just grown-ass men, and I didn't like that at the time, which is very weird, I know, because now I'm very hypersexual. I'm very much about boobs and like showing them off, and that's my issue. Because here's the thing, I identify with men better. People always think like there's something wrong with me because I don't have like that many girlfriends. Like I love girls, like I do love girls, and I love like their sensitivity and all that stuff like that. But that's why I identify more as like a gay man, because I like guys, but I also identify as a guy, if that makes sense. The thing that kind of like stops it is I do love, which a lot of gay men do too, I do love like glam and voluptuousness. So in my head, I feel like I'm a transgender female to male, but also like a drag queen. That's kind of how I've like rationalized it in my head. Because like, okay, let me just tell you why I identify as a boy more so, and from an early age. I don't like to be center of attention except when I want to be center of attention. So like, okay, think of like a drag queen, right? They do like their full glam and everything, but in their day-to-day, they're not. They're very like low-key, whatever. That's kind of me. Like when I want to put on a show, I put on the hair, I put on the makeup, I put on the outfits. But if you guys know me on this channel or my second channel or just in life, I never wear hair or makeup like in my day-to-day. I usually look crazy. Like watch my second channel, I look insane. Like as far as like girliness goes, like I just never wear makeup. Like oh my god, if I have like zits on my face, like they just like let them go. Like and so I've always just kind of related to guys on that level, and I've always just been attracted to guys, but not straight guys. I've always been attracted to gay guys. So that's why I've like always thought I like maybe I'm a gay man. And then when it comes to girls, like I admire girls' beauty so much, and I just like think girls are so beautiful to like look at. But and like straight guys like kind of turn me off. It's very weird. Like I hate like over masculine energy. So like as a girl, I just never really related to that. And then the final thing that kind of brings it full, I feel transgender almost, is I've always had penis envy. Yeah, where I just, this sounds so crazy to say out loud, but like I've just always thought my life would be easier if I had that part. That if I asserted myself, I wouldn't be a bitch, but I would be like a man. And that's how I always think when I talk to people. I think of myself as being assertive, and I think of myself as masculine energy, but because I'm a female and I was born with female parts, people think, oh, she's a bitch. So the whole transgender community has always like called to me for some reason, and I never knew why. I'm like, well, if you guys, I'm not like, I don't go out and advocate for it, although I would be so down, and I love, obviously I love the transgender community, so like I should be the advocate for it. But what was always stopping me was like, I always thought, oh my gosh, am I trans? And I know I did like trolled and stuff in the past, and so I don't want people to think this is like a trolling video. I've known, like, I've like come out as like gay before, I've come out as bisexual before, and that's kind of why I have issues in general with just terms in general and labels in general, like male, female, gay, straight, bi, because
where the fuck are you going with this?
I would say I'm confused. I would say I'm all of it, and that's why I don't like labels in general. Like, I don't like, and I've dated people who are bisexual, and people are like, well, they're gay because they date guys more than girls, or they're gay, or they're straight. Like, I don't like that you have to be one or the other, and you have to like something more than the other. I've always felt that way. Even with transgendered people, like I've always been fascinated, because there are some who transition fully, and then there are some that only transition partially, and then there are some that don't necessarily transition at all, but just choose to identify as a different gender. And I think I'm more of, I just choose to identify as a boy. And I don't, and I know this is where it's gonna get a little scandalous, I don't love pronouns like they and them, because that's super confusing, I think. Personal opinion, and that might be unpopular opinion, because I know Sam Smith recently is like, I'm a they or something. That sounds like plural people. And while people think I'm schizophrenic and have multiple personalities, like, I choose not to identify as multiple personalities. So I get it, but I think, like, I don't think you have to necessarily choose one gender. I think you can be a guy someday. I think that applies to me as a gay man. The problem with identifying as a gay man when you have female body parts is that you're not going to be able to fully satisfy yourself by being with a gay man. No, nor am I going to be able to satisfy a partner, like a gay man partner. And that's what's frustrating, and I think it's frustrating just in general. And as I have watched so many beautiful like transgender people like come out and stuff like that, I know with dating it's very difficult, because people, even if you, let's say you fully transition, right? I'm just going to use like a very broad generic transgender person, like male to female, and you have that full transformation. You have breasts, and you have a vagina, and you have all of that. Even if you have all of that, and you tell a guy like, hey, I was born a male, like, guys will be pissed. Straight guys, gay guys, whatever. And same like in my terms, like, let's say I wanted to be male to female, right? Or female to male. Okay, like, obviously I look like a female now, so if that's not what they're attracted to, they're attracted for a mask. And you know, the parts, that obviously I'm not going to satisfy them. But let's say I went full transition and got the parts and everything, and I said, hey, I was actually born a female. That would turn off a lot of guys as well. And I know this because I've talked to guys about this. I've talked to gay guys about it, straight guys about it. And I get it. And for me, I've been with transgendered people, and I've only been with a male to female. I've never been the opposite way around, so I don't actually know what that transition's like. But to me, it's like, it's the same thing. It's not different. Surgery is amazing these days that you can't even tell a difference, if that makes sense. And I've been with a full transition, and I've been with a partial transition, male to female. And like, it all works the same, feels the same. And when you're with a male to female trans, like, and they haven't fully transitioned on the bottom, you still get a woman, if that makes sense. You're still getting a woman energy with a different feel, if you know what I mean. So I think it's more important to be open, and I'm not saying the world needs to be open. I'm saying with me in my mind, I need to be open. And while my name is Trish, like, I never really identified with that name. I've always actually hated the name Trish, and for some reason I never liked it. But I just realized now, because it's a female name, and I don't really identify as female. Do I fully identify as male? I don't know. Well, now this past week, I had the societal boy haircut, which is like short. And I've never felt more freer and liberated in my life. I wasn't getting looks from gross straight men. I didn't have to do my hair in the morning, but it wasn't looked down on.
If you got a boy haircut, how is your hair now? As long as the top to bottom of Mount Everest.
But while I had that on, no one said anything. I could just literally roll out of bed and just go. And I felt free and I felt happy. I felt really happy. I didn't have to worry about hair or my body so much. I know guys are like into their bodies and stuff like that, but I didn't feel that way as a boy. I felt like, oh, I'm really, really free of myself and my body. And while I did have like my boobs and my butt, I felt like a thick boy. And I kind of like love being a thick boy. I don't know. It's kind of like, I know it kind of sounds crazy, and I'm sure people think I'm crazy, but I felt it. And like you'll see in the vlogs, 'cause I have a lot of footage, I felt happy and I felt like I was just feeling it more so than I've ever felt glam or anything. And I think it honestly is just a feeling, and I don't want people to like be offended. I don't want trans to be offended or gay or straight or whatever by thinking I'm like mocking this or I'm confused. And I know that's such a misconception that transgender people are confused. And it's not that I'm confused, it's that I identify as both. I just don't necessarily like the term they or them. So do I think I'm transgender? Yes, 1000%. Do I identify with my natural born gender? 1000%. So